Yo, what's good, family? Man, happy Friday. I mean, we made it through another week. And before you know it, man, it's going to be official. You know what I mean? It's going to be over. But like I always say, man, math is something that we want to keep doing. So even into the summer, you know what I mean? Just practice, man. Don't just, excuse me. Don't just let school be the last time you do your math, you know what I mean? Or the only time you do your math. It should be ongoing. All right. So anyway, we're at week 8, day 3. Happy Friday. And yesterday we kind of built up to the verbiage in what we'll be seeing in these particular, plots or graphs or whatever, right? So today is we're talking about this right here, right? Like you reading this, a dot plot. So we're going to be interpreting dot plots today, right? And then maybe next week we'll jump into different types of graphs that we can just, get the data from. So it says a dot plot is a graph for displaying the numerical data, right? So that's a keyword, numerical data, where each dot represents a value. A dot plot is a type of graphic display using filled-in circles or dots and a simple scale to compare the count's frequency. We're going to need to know that word. With categories or groups when working with small data sets with a small number of groups. So that's when you use a dot plot. So we're going to start out with a dot plot because a dot plot is really easy to kind of interpret and kind of, determine what's going on. So when we see this, right, this is the picture that we're going to be using. And so we're going to have to reference this picture for each question. Now, in the question, I just want you to write the answer. So when you're watching this video, question 1 through 10, it's not multiple choice. It's just you have to interpret it and write the answer to it. So we notice a couple things about this graph. It says Johnny, that's his name, recorded the number of quarters he owns per year minted. Answer the questions. So he has, and each X represents 10 quarters. Each X represents 10 quarters. So if we look at 1938, right? 1938 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it has 50 quarters from 1938. And then 10, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40 for 1939. And so on, right? So we just count those up, right, to determine the amount. All right, so let's dive right into this thing, man. Let's see what question number 1 says. It says, which mint year does Johnny have the fewest coins in his collection? Just the answer. So the fewest coins, right? The fewest coins are the least amount, and it looks like 1942. So when you write this out or type it in your computer, I just want you to type in 1942. Okay? 1942. And that's it. Boom. All right, number 2. It says, how many quarters does Johnny have from before 1940? From before 1940, right? So we have to look at and we have to see before 1940, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And so we know that each X is worth 10, right? 10 quarters. So that's a total of, I hope you guys were saying 90, right? 90. So that's it. Number 2, we just write 90. So far, so good, right? Easy peasy. It's too cheesy. How many quarters minted in 1940 does Johnny have? Right? So let's look at 1940, right? And all we got to do is count it. From 1940, he has, remember there are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So simply put, for number 3, right, is 70. Easy money. 70. Okay? Number 4, that's all we're doing. We're just interpreting this dot plot. Number 4, what is the absolute difference, right? So there's that term again, difference. We know difference means, right? What does difference mean? Hopefully you guys were saying, because, you know, we're subtracting, right? We know difference means the answer to a subtraction problem, right? Hopefully you guys were saying that. Difference in quantity between Johnny's 1942 quarters and his 1938 quarters. So let's see, 1942 and 1938. So if we count them, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 10, 20. So 50 and 20, the difference between those two numbers is 30. Difference between those numbers is 30, right? The absolute difference, right, is 30. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Just interpret the graph. Nothing fancy, right? Nothing out of the ordinary. All right, number 5. Number 5. Does Johnny have more quarters minted in 1939 or in 1938? That's pretty simple, right? We just look at it. It's pretty simple, right? Does he have more minted in 1939? 1938. 1938. It's pretty easy. Friday's easy for you guys. Super simple. Nothing too challenging. Just interpreting the graph. Oopsies. I was right and you couldn't even see that. Sorry. So number 6. Let's see what number 6 is. Number 6. How many quarters does Johnny have from 1942? Right? And we saw that 1942 was only 2. Right? It's only 2, and they're each worth 10, so 10 times 2 is, very good, 20. So that should be 20. Just typing the answer in, right? Just typing the answer in. No sentences, no periods, nothing else. Just the answer, right? All right, number 7, and we are almost done, you guys. Happy Friday, pretty easy. From which mint year or years, if any, does Johnny possess more than 70 quarters? More than 70 quarters. Okay, so we know they're by tens. So which year? More than 70. So let's look at 1940 and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? But it said more than. So we can just look at 1941. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1941. That's really simple. It's just 1941. All right. And number 8. Number 8. And we're almost done, you guys. How many quarters does Johnny have that were minted in 1941? Well, we just saw that, and then that was, well, we just tackled that one, right? We just answered that. So that's 80. Because 10 times 8 is 80. So no need to look at that one again, right? Is that right? Okay, you count it for me. All right. Number 9. Man, this is really cool. In total, how many quarters does Johnny have? So basically, you have to count all of the quarters, right? All of the stacks, right? So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 9, and then 7. 9 and 7 is 16, and 8 is 24, and then 2 more is 26. 26 times 10, very good, 260. So he has 260 quarters. Whoa, go Johnny, go. And number 10, and we are done, you guys. Holy goodness. All right, which mint year does Johnny have the most coins in his collection? Super simple, because we saw that the most coins in his collection is 1941. 1941. Beautiful job, you guys. 1941. So remember, we're just writing the answer. We're not writing a sentence. We're just interpreting this graph. That's all we're doing. Interpreting this graph. So next week, we are going to go Monday, Thursday, Friday. And it's going to be, more the same kind of like interpreting graphs type stuff. We're going to be jumping into some other things as well. But Monday, Thursday, Friday, hope to see you online. Hope to see you at the Zoom meetings, man. And just remember that I miss you, and Mr. B loves you like your dad loves you. All right? Holla at y'all, man. Peace.